NACDL is the association of the nation's criminal defense bar.
Race is everything. And particularly for those of us who, are criminal defense lawyers, we know that it's everything in the criminal justice system for certain. I have always been primarily aware that whenever I step foot outside of my front door, get in my car, maybe stop at the gas station in the marina to get cigarettes, or at the ATM, then jump on the freeway, on any and every given day, whether I am dressed in my finest trial suit or jeans and a t-shirt, I am always profoundly aware that the first thing that human eyes, when they look at me, the first thing they will see is that I'm Black. Not even that I'm a woman, not even that I am nearing middle age, if I can get away with that. The first thing they'll see is that I'm a woman. So, once you take a look at me, and truthfully, you all can answer, the first thing you do realize is that I'm Black, right? Right? And because of that, Black people, and for this presentation, I'm gonna talk about being Black because my subject is a self-reflection. So it's not any diss to any other minorities, because I'm certain there are equal challenges for other minorities. But for Black people particularly, since in this country, our skin tone has been weaponized. Okay, so we are immediately, the first thing you see is that I'm Black, and I am immediately assessed accordingly. Now, in terms of that, let me move to my next slide here. Self-perception and self-awareness is largely shaped by how we are perceived by others. While we can all say that, I'm gonna be my own person, I'm gonna be, expressive as my own person. No, that's not really true. How I see myself is largely based upon how you all see me, okay? Let me tell you something. If you ever wanna know what society or what the world at large thinks of your particular demographic status, Google your demographic, Black female, in clip art images, okay? And so that's what I did. I Googled Black female clip art, and this is what pops up. You can see curvy hips, big thighs. That's how the world views Black females, okay? Clip art will never let you down. These images as well, because Black women, we are oftentimes over-sexualized as well. So society think of us as having big hips, can twerk, and Lord knows I can't, but, and wearing our pants, exposing skin. And if you think that that's not true, remember the dust up for Michelle Obama? Beautiful Black woman. And people lost their shit because she had toned arms and wore bare arms that were muscular. Lost their shit. Because again, Black women are seen as we were over-sexualized and fat. So, and when I Google Black female, do you know how long I had to scroll to get to a clip art image of a Black professional female or a Black businesswoman? And even those images, though they have on suits still, the thighs are a little bit bigger. She got a butt, nice little hips. So again, how I perceive myself is based upon largely how others see me. And do you know how long I had to scroll in order to get this image of a Black female doctor with braids? Scrolling. I was almost about to give up, all right? And then finally this. So listen, I am paid quite well to object, to argue, to cross-examine the shit out of witnesses, okay? Paid well for that. But yet and still, how am I perceived? I'm perceived as the angry black woman, okay? Because I do those things. I'm able to feed myself. I fed my kid, sent her to college, but still, I can't be seen as the first thing, and I think about jurors when I say this, that because Lord knows I'm loud, all right? I speak loudly, I laugh loudly. I mean, I'm 5'2", I'm from Chicago, okay? All right? But the first thing though, if I am expressive, if I am being effective, I'm an angry black woman. And the thing is that yes, it is true. All that, I am an angry black woman, okay? But not every black woman is, okay? Just because they are expressive, just because they're advocates. But that's how the world views us. And then we take in those perceptions and have to fight against it. And it starts from my day one, because I was always black. I was born black, and just like this meme about the toddler, I look at that little girl, I don't see her as being angry. I see her as maybe trying to play with her friend, but the way we look at images of ourselves that society has deemed, she's a now and toddler from day one. Now think about that. Things that I have to think about because I am a black woman are things that you all do not. Yesterday when Cynthia showed that video about the little, I don't know if everybody saw it, but when the children, the black doll versus the white doll, that always still breaks my heart. I've seen it. Every time I see it, it makes me want to well up. Because you know what? I have a black daughter, okay? And I had to overcompensate for her because of the images she saw in terms of beauty. I never bought her not one white doll. And somebody may say, you know what? That's kind of racist, Nan. Yeah, you know what? And it may be. But I had to combat against the images that she saw that told her that she wasn't beautiful. I had to tell her things like, listen, brown eyes are so much prettier than blue eyes. All right, brown hair or blonde hair, that's not pretty. And even though I may think it is, and it is on some people, but I had to overcompensate it because I didn't want her to grow up thinking that her dark skin, that her dark brown eyes were not beautiful, because they are beautiful. But see, those are things that a white mother wouldn't have to worry about or concern that she would ever have. Okay, about something as simple as that. Just because I am opinionated doesn't mean I'm angry. People will tell me, Nan, calm down. You know, your blood pressure. You get so upset about things. No, I don't. That's my normal, okay? My blood pressure is solid, baby, okay? You know, and so again, but because I'm a black woman and my skin has been weaponized, that I'm supposed to not be opinionated. And how could I not be, all right? The whole speak in your inside voice. So there has been on more than one occasion where a witness, a cop, on 2 occasions have told the judge, in the middle of my cross-examination, look at the judge, could you tell her to stop yelling at me? And the judge who knew me says, oh, no. That's how she talks. She's from Chicago. She's just loud. Okay. Because the thing is, too, for me, and why this is a calling and the greatest job in the world for me, is that I get to be an angry black woman. I get to cross-examine the shit out of a cop. I get to yell at a cop, and it ain't shit he can do, all right? Except answer the fucking question, okay? And so the speaking and the inside voice is my one voice, okay? I'm loud all the time, all right? But still, they want to tam you down. They want to tam down my blackness as a black woman. And I'm not having it. But that's still something that I had to think about. I have to feel like that I have to be better than everybody else in the room. And why? Why can't I just, I mean, you know, I am better than anybody else in the room, but why should I have to? Why should I have to be that way just because of the color of my skin? Okay, so let's talk lawyers by the numbers, okay? The largest number of active attorneys, and think of this as like Google Earth. So we're starting at the beginning, you know, and we're going to tear it down. The largest number of active attorneys in residence are New York, of course, and then California, this great state that you're sitting in now, Texas, Florida. You know what? I was a little bit surprised about Texas and Florida because I'm thinking, really, they got that many lawyers there? I mean, because, you know, they probably all interrelated. But anyway, and then Illinois. Shout out to Chicago, because I'm certain that 63,000, probably most of them are in Chicago. Right. So the fewest number is in North Dakota. Virgin Islands, they couldn't report, because this is the American Bar Association. They do the stats every year. But they couldn't report because of the hurricanes, Maria and Irma, so they couldn't get the 2017 numbers in. Guam, and okay, wait, let me ask y'all. Anybody know what the fuck North Mariana Islands is? I had never heard of that shit. Look at y'all. I had never heard of thinking, this is some made up shit, but okay. All right. No wonder they only got 128 lawyers. Okay, anyway, let's move on. Okay, let's talk about lawyers by the races. And let me get, because I can't see that and you all can't either. Let me see my note here. So they did a 10-year, that's the ABA, they did a 10-year demographic study of race and ethnicity. So they went from 2007 to 2017. And in 2007, with 42 states reporting, 70% of the lawyers in the country were white men, 70%. So that, then in 2017, it went down to 65%, all right? So of course, it's 30% women in 2007. In 2017, it's a 35% of lawyers in the country are women. So women got a 5% bump. Now, of the reported races, in 2007, African Americans were 4% of the lawyers were African American. In 2017, do anybody want to take a guess, or you can squint up there to see what the numbers are for African Americans in 2017? Nope, 5%. So in 10 years, it only went up 1 percentage point for African Americans. For Asians, in 2007, it was 2%, and in 2017, it is 5%. And 2007 for white, it was 90%. And in 2017, it was 85%. It went down 5%. For Hawaiian Pacific Islanders, it's always been 0. So maybe they don't report as being, they probably say they're white, okay? And see, they can be, but I can't. But anyway, Hispanics in 2007, it was 4%. Anybody want to guess 2017 for Hispanics? 5%. It's the same as African Americans. Native Americans reported as 0% in 2007 and now are up to 1%. All right. So, again, narrowing it down. Okay, so we got the number of lawyers, over 400,000, and of that, only 5% currently are African American. All right. Law student statistics for first-year law students enrolled in 2018 in the United States. And that's the entire country, okay, of 1Ls. And that don't mean they're going to graduate either, okay? But it's a combined total of 3,033 individuals that are African American in law school first year. And now, I don't know, this black or African American other, I'm like, who the fuck is that? I don't know who's that? Who would that be? But it's two people that said, ooh, I'm other African American. I don't know what that is. Maybe they were hoping that they can pass or something. Anyway, all right. Or maybe it's Rachel Doziel. Anyway, moving on, okay. So I was looking at it, and maybe it's the psych major in me, but the intergroup theory is where it's a collection of individuals who have significantly interdependent relationships with each other, okay? Like in law firms, who perceive, lawyers, who perceive themselves to be a group by reliably distinguishing members from non-members, okay? So, members of the bar versus non-members of the bar, whose group identity is recognized by non-members, meaning they know you when they can see you, your group, who as group members acting alone or in concert have significantly interdependent relations with other groups, and whose roles in groups are therefore a function of expectations from themselves, from other group members, and from non-group members, okay? So, intergroup theory offers a way to understand, explain, and predict relations between groups within an organization and suggests that group identities, such as racial identity, can influence the conduct in the organization. So what does that mean, then? Thinking of organizations as being the criminal justice system itself, law schools, law firms, courts, bar groups. A lawyer organizational group, okay, you start with lawyers, then you have partners in law firms, then you have associates, then you have criminal defense lawyers, then you have public defenders, and then prosecutors, and then judges too. But okay, so thinking of this lawyer organizational group, okay? Within the organization, individuals are shaped by three forces: their own unique personalities, groups with whom they personally identify to a significant degree, and the groups with whom others associate them, whether or not they wish such an association. So the group identity factors. First of all, we're all human. Then we have male, female, place of birth, which is nationality, race, and age. All of those you can fit in a group. Okay, so that's your personal identifying group. And so now we're going to take the group within the organization and see how it works. Identity group membership, you share a common biological characteristic. I'm black. It begins at birth. And I participate with other black people in equivalent historical experiences that we're born up, we're oppressed here in this country, okay? We started from a place of oppression. And we develop resulting similar worldview because we know that who we are shaped by how others perceive us. They perceive us as black, okay? But that's the group that I identify with. So take our group within an organization. If, in fact, only 5% of us are African-American lawyers, okay, so think of it like that within the practice of law, all right? And so what happens? What happens to the organization? What happens to the individuals in the group? Relations among identity groups and among organizational groups are shaped by how these groups and their representatives are, follow me here with this, you gotta follow me here, are embedded in the organization and how the organization itself is embedded in this environment. Let me take the Los Angeles County Public Defender's Office let's that be the group, okay? And then we have, I'm not certain how many African Americans we have in our office. Do you know, Lisa? Okay. Okay, all right. And we do have some representatives that are embedded in the organization that have some power, right? But power relations within an organization must be similar within all levels of the organization or in society as a whole. When it does not, it is incongruent. So what that means is that in our, let's say our office, we have to be able to look and see that we have people of color in positions of power. We have to make sure that we get promoted the same way that white people do. We do not. Is that right? Okay? And so it's not congruent. It's a problem. We have a small number. We're in a big pond, and it's incongruent. Okay? Because we're not in the same levels of power as black lawyers. Okay? And naturally, when it's incongruent, that's a problem. It's a problem for the organization. It's a problem for the individual lawyers inside of the organization. It affects our morale. We know that we are being assessed based upon our race, okay? And we know it goes one step further, all right? It's beyond just seeing us. What it's saying is that even though, okay, so starting at base level, we're black, but we're somehow lesser or not as good. okay? Our organizations, okay, need to do something about that. Not just the LA County Public Defender's Office, but all organizations of our organizational lawyer group, right? So for me, my self-reflection, I think, do I overcompensate because of my skin tone as a lawyer? And I think I do, all right? I tend to, when I'm in trial, I have some rules, like I never wear pants, a pantsuit in trial. I'm not expressive in color in terms of my suits. They, navy, black, brown, okay, tailored well. I wear pantyhose still, but you know what? That may be generational, okay? Because I know the new young lawyers don't really wear pantyhose, but I do because, because I feel like I have to make sure that I look the part of a lawyer so that I will be taken seriously, okay? And I've always felt that way because I then have to overcompensate. I know that when I stand before a jury and the first thing they see is black, I want them to get past that and say, well, she's black, but at least she got a nice suit on, okay? All right? Okay. All right, so those are things I have to think about. And I can say that I do overcompensate in terms of a self-reflection. But you know what? In the big scheme of things, and it's also generational, okay, I think, that I'm an old school lawyer, all right? I want to look like a lawyer. Just like I always say, if I go to a brain surgeon, I want my fucking brain surgeon to look like a brain surgeon, okay? Don't come in here with your disco clothes on, okay? You're going out clothes, all right? So, because I know that when I'm standing in front of a jury of, let's say, jurors from Torrance or Palos Verdes, okay, all right, I know that I have to then look like a lawyer, all right? Okay. Let me tell you something. The one thing that differentiates a black African-American female from the rest of all of the other races, even from black men, is our hair. It is our hair, all right? So now thinking about all the many ways that we can wear our hair, all right? Then I said, but of course, I was thinking about that kid who had to cut his dreads. But anyway, all right? And clip art came through with me because that's a nice image of the different hairstyles that black women can wear. But here's the thing. As you will see, my hair is relaxed and straight. It's straight. But I've had a relaxer in my hair since I was 10 years old. So it'd be a little hard to do anything different at this point. But when I'm standing in front of, let's say, white conservative men, I have to think about my hair. Because you know what? A lot of times, what white people feel is that our hair is scary. Somehow, if it's big or natural, it's scary. And of course, again, for me, a self-reflection, my self-perception is impacted by, I don't want to scare anybody with my hair, all right? Something that no other race, no other gender has to worry about except black women, all right? Now, and let me just say this. I want to give a sincere shout out to the courage of African-American women who are wearing their hair natural, who have said, I'm going to stand in front of you, Mr. Palos Verdes MF, okay? Because I told you I wouldn't cuss as much as I did in Vegas, so I'm trying, okay. Huh? What? Okay, but white men, okay, white men, all right? So, because what you are saying is this. You all are bringing it to the fore, because you're saying, look, you better get used to it, okay? You better get used to it. I can wear my hair in a variety of manner, and I am still a goddamn good lawyer, all right? So stop looking at my hair and listen to my words, okay? And you know what? They're going to have to get used to it, all right? They're going to have to get used to it. So again, a shout out to the women who wear dreads, the women who wear braids, the women who wear their hair natural, because your hair is beautiful. And don't think just because my hair is straight that I think it's more because I'm scared. I don't have your courage. I don't have the courage to do it. Okay, because again, I wear pantyhose still, okay? All right? And clip art, they came through with that, of course. You know, the different styles of our hair. And then also, cultural appropriation, all right? That also will help them to just get used to it. Get used to our hair. Of course, this slide pissed me off. I'm like, Becky, get out that shirt, okay? Okay, all right, okay. But still, the more people become accustomed to it, and you are making them accustomed to it by showing up, suiting up, and rocking your natural hair, so that maybe we are celebrating the divide of our hair instead of trying to hide it. Because that is what is uniquely ours. Nobody take it. Bo Derek did not invent French braids, okay? All right? Also, and let me tell you, I hate the term Ebonics. What the fuck is Ebonics? Okay? We have a different language, a language that was born and bred through slavery, actually, because we had to talk to each other fast, we had to make words short, and it's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Like when our clients tell them the story, yeah, then he was like, whoop, whoop, whoop. How many people I've talked to clients and they did the whoop, 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 all right? And let me ask, how many white people have had clients say that and you didn't know what the hell they were talking about? Exactly. But we did. We did. Listen, I love our colorful language that people like to try, call ghetto speak or trap speak. I love it. Like some of these, one, I'm around the corner means I'm about 40 minutes away. In LA, maybe 20, okay? We up in this bitch. Who knows what that means? Let me get it. I love these. So you mad? Who know what that means? How about you trying to chill? Who knows what that means? I have had on many occasions white judges when a witness is on the stand, a black witness is on the stand, or the defendant's on the stand, and the defendant will say something, and they'll look at me and say, "What'd he say? What'd he say?" And I can't translate it, and I am proud of that, okay? I'm not ashamed of that. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the way that we speak, because Lord knows I do not, listen, if you were to hear me, my voice is uniquely black. I have never sounded white. My daughter, though, had to deal with that. She had to deal with, in high school, people telling her, "Oh, Taylor, you talk white." What the fuck is that? She speaks proper English. And so do I. Just because mine may have an accent that you know I'm black don't make it any less proper. Okay? All right. So that's uniquely ours. And so that means, though, that we will be multilingual, right? So, and I have to be careful, like when I'm like closing or, because, first of all, I have to make sure I don't cuss, and that's hard for me, okay? But then we'll slip into our language. Things like, you gonna make me catch a case? Everybody know what that means, right? Roll up at the spot, right? And we all know what trap means, thanks to Drew. Back in my day, boost meant still. We're gonna boost that, okay? All right? So listen, so I know that I am shaped by how others look at me, okay? But I am still me, all right? And even though I have to try harder, I have to dress better, it makes me a better person and a better lawyer, all right? So I take the negative of that oppression and make it a positive, okay? And that's really, for the black women, that's really what black girl magic is, okay? Okay, so does the race of the lawyer matter? Yes, it does, because we have this instruction that says, do not let bias, and I'm gonna just skip to bias for or against the attorneys. So what I do in jury selection, okay, I always ask the question, especially when I have a black client, because again, I am aware that my skin tone, as well as his or hers, is weaponized. I'm aware of that when jurors come in the room, that the first thing they see is that we both black, all right? So I always say, take a look at me. Is it anything about me that you feel that you would hold it against the defendant. And I start subtly. I'm like, maybe you don't like my suit. Maybe my hair got too many colors in it, okay? Maybe the sound of my voice may be, raspy or anything about me. And then I'll ask, how about the color of my skin? Will that impact your assessment of this case? Because I'm black. Are you all sitting there thinking, she a lawyer? She must have been affirmative action she got in on. You okay? So I asked that. And then I asked them to look at the defendant. Is there anything about the defendant that will cause you to have an immediate reaction to the defendant? And, looking at the color of his skin, that he's black. I'll call attention to it. And believe it or not, I have had some white male jurors from Torrance say to me, yeah, I don't like the sound of your voice. And I'm glad, because dude, you the fuck out. Thanks for letting me know, okay? All right. So they have, or I've had, I remember I had a Hispanic juror say, I don't, black people, they commit crime. Because you're black, that is a problem. Okay, all right, that's good. At least be candid and honest. But I'd rather you say it here, because it sounds like I'm trying to be your friend. We're not gonna be friends, okay? I don't care if you don't like me or I don't care. Bounce, peace out, okay? Yes. Well, no, you know what I've noticed? No, they won't, because they'll say that the juror's just saying that in order to get out of jury service. That's how they get around it. Okay? Because, some judges, maybe not the ones who were up on this panel yesterday, but some judges, they want the Torrance jurors on there who don't like the color of my skin, okay? Or the defendants, So they won't automatically. And in that case, I think maybe in that case, though, with the Hispanic lady, he did excuse her. But of course, he ain't gonna excuse the white people to say it. Okay. I have to use a preamp on those motherfuckers. Okay, anyway. All right. Okay, so again, how many people do talk about race in jury selection? Like what do you say, Ian? You say, is race a factor? Don't you think it's a better way to word that? Anybody? Because that's a yes or no question. Okay. Ms. Rhonda? Oh, okay. Yeah, but see, I would be nervous about that one, though, because if they said then the DA will kick them, Okay, so this is what I did an example, a hypo for this white woman. I asked her, juror number 5, whatever. Have you ever gone to a shopping mall, an open mall, and you park your car at the mall, and you're getting your stuff together to get out of the car to go into the mall, and you see a young African-American man, a young black guy, walking between the cars, and walking towards your car, and walking, between the cars. Just nondescript. He don't have on a hoodie, okay? He ain't got no Skittles in his hand and nothing like that. Just a regular dude, okay? Do you lock your door? Do you lock your door? And she had to think about it. She's like, yeah, you know what? I probably would. And then ask her why. And then I segue into see, that's the thing. That's exactly the opposite of what you're called here to do, okay? You're to presume that the guy walking through the cars did nothing. And so I was able to get her with the whole presumption of innocence and the fact that if it's because he's black. One woman told me, I would lock my door, I don't care what the race of the guy was, because I'm just, scary, okay? And that's a good answer, too. That's an okay answer, all right? Because you know what, chances are I'll probably lock my goddamn door, too, but, I don't tell them that, all right? And so I tell them, listen, but in terms of like implicit bias, we have to think about things like that. Does anybody talk about implicit bias during jury selection? Nobody does? Yeah. Okay. The thing is that it really isn't comfortable talking about, race, all right? And it's different when you're a black lawyer talking about race than versus a white lawyer talking about race. Because, because I think generally there's a level of discomfort because nobody wants to think that, oh my God, that I'm racist, especially for, I think it's more so for white people that feel that way. Okay, and the thing is that, listen, if you're thinking about it and then realizing that it exists, that's half the cure. Okay, you're doing okay. And it doesn't make you a bad person. Unless, of course, you're that woman that said she don't like black people, and that bitch bad. Okay, but just generally, if somebody gives an answer that you think, oh no, he's racist, automatic, or nuance, no. You need to try to develop that, because it also educates the jurors who aren't saying anything, who won't raise their hand but are thinking it. So it's okay to talk about it, all right? It's okay. Black, white, Asian, let's talk about it. Because I'm telling you, that is the cure. Because you know what? I think, and I argue with people about this all the time, I think at our core, human beings are good. And I know a lot of people disagree with me about that, but I think at our core, we are good. Because we do rise up in times of trouble, all right? Even as a country right now, even as divided as this country is, we still, as human beings, we become cohesive. And it doesn't make you a bad person unless, in fact, you are, a racist, then you are bad, okay? And I'm saying it to your face. It ain't a difference of opinion, okay? You bad, all right? Okay? So how many lawyers routinely engage in Batson Willard challenges? The first black person that is kicked, okay? The first black person that is kicked by the DA, we go on the sidebar, goddammit, okay? The first, I don't want to wait and see if they develop a pattern, because you know what? The thing is, there's not a lot of black people in the pool. So we don't have time to wait for that, all right? Has anybody had a Batson Willard granted? Yes, yes, I did. And here in California, I don't know how you all do it elsewhere, but so yeah, in Torrance, there was only one black woman in the entire veneer that came up, and she ended up getting seated. And that was the DA's very first challenge. And I brought the Batson, and the judge was like, yeah, you know what, you're right. What are you doing? And he reseated her. Guess how that case ended? It hung, but still, okay? And she was a not guilty voter, all right? So make the challenge routinely. And here's another thing, too, that they get a little skittish when a black lawyer brings a Batson Willard. Like in the DA, let's say, is a white dude, all right? They get a little skittish. Like, and sometimes they get the feelings hurt when I bring it. It's like, Miss Whitfield is saying I'm racist. I'm like, if the shoe fits, Cinderella, you look like an 8, all right? Okay? Yeah, I am saying you're racist. I'm not afraid of that. I don't shy back thinking, oh, well, I don't want them to think I can't. I don't give a damn, okay? Now, on the flip side, and yesterday, I think it was Mr. Davis, we were talking about how black jurors vote guilty all the time. I've had black jurors vote guilty all the time, all right? But here's the thing that I noticed in my practice. Because I have sat there and seen black people excused for no reason other than they are black, I'm hard-pressed to kick a black person. And that's bad. That's not a good thing. But I think in my entire career, I think I've only exercised a challenge for black people twice. Because I just can't. I mean, because I know the face, I remember the face of this older black man who was a janitor, okay? And, sitting on jury duty, own his own home in South Central, don't have no sons or daughters in prison, don't have no cousins or brothers in prison, just a regular, tax-paying guy who retired as a janitor. And the white DA kicked him. And the look on his face, it almost started crying right there, the look on his face, knowing that he got kicked merely because of the color of his skin. So that's why I feel like if I were to engage in it, but I'm supposed to, because I need to pick the best jury for my client. But I am hampered because of the issue of race. Now, also I've had, in terms of black women, older black women, the looks on their faces when they see me and they know that I'm the lawyer. It is a sense of pride that I see from them, that they are proud of me, all right? Now look, those heifers are still both guilty, but at least initially, okay, as a black lawyer, I relate to that. and it makes me feel good, all right? So it works both ways, all right? It's all right, okay. So, but here's the thing. How many lawyers, and I think we talked about this, have had an all-white, non-black jury with a black defendant? And in those cases, how do you deal with the fact that you're black? Lori? How many people have had an all-black jury with a black defendant? You have? Okay, that's good. I had 7 black people once, and that was on our case, Ian. yeah. Right. But Charlie, let me just say quick, because my time is up. Charlie, let me just say real quick, because my time is up. Okay. But also the converse is true. No, because black defendants, sometimes they want a black lawyer, and that's understandable as well, because we understand woo, woo, woo. Thank you, Charlie. My time is up. Thank you all. All right.